Hello students, through this video I'm going to explain you the chapter named as Agriculture. This chapter is for class 10th. The main topics which I'm going to cover in this video are meaning of agriculture, India as an agricultural country, and the third one is the types of farming. So these 3 points I'm going to cover in this video. So first of all, we are going to know about the meaning of agriculture. What is the meaning of agriculture? So sometimes when I ask what is the meaning of agriculture, so people say means cultivation of crops. But this answer is incomplete. Agriculture means it's a science or practice of farming. It includes cultivation of soil for the growing of crops and the rearing of animals to provide food, wool and other products. This word agriculture basically belongs to a word agri and cultura. This is from Latin root. Agricultura. Agri means field and cultura means cultivation. So the combined form of it is agriculture. So cultivating a piece of land or planting and growing food plants on it is largely what agriculture means. So we know the meaning of agriculture. Agriculture is a combination of cultivation of crops, rearing of animals and forestry also. Next part is India as an agricultural country. We all know that when we write about the economic condition of the India, we always say that India is an agricultural country. So what is the meaning of an agricultural country? Means the economic condition of India is totally based, mainly based upon the agriculture. How can I justify these points? How can we say that India is an agricultural country? So if we look in this slide, there are 4 parameters through which we can say that India is an agricultural country. Number 1 is the employment, then GDP, agricultural activities and raw material. So by these 4 points, we can explain that India is an agricultural country. Now one is the employment. Means agriculture provides employment to approximately 52% of labor. So we can say that India is an agricultural country. Number 2 point is the GDP. Its contribution to gross domestic product GDP is between 14 to 15%. Third one is the agricultural activities, means 2/3 of the Indian population engaged in agricultural activities. And fourth is the raw material, obviously. Our maximum industry, means the maximum industries of India gets raw material mainly from agricultural sector. So by these 4 points we can say that India is an agricultural country. Next part is the types of farming that are practiced in India. So they are mainly 3. Primitive subsistence farming. Number 2 is intensive subsistence farming. And number 3 is the commercial farming. So basically these 3 types of farming are usually found in India. Primitive subsistence farming, intensive subsistence farming and commercial farming. Now we are going to see the first types of farming, that is the primitive subsistence farming. So if we notice in these pictures, we can easily get the idea what the meaning of primitive subsistence farming. If we look at these pictures, so it is done on a small patch with the help of primitive tools with family members and communities. This type of farming depends upon environmental condition. This is the most important part of this slide, that primitive subsistence farming is basically belong upon the environmental condition. Environmental condition means temperature of that area, rainfall of that area, and obviously the fertility of the soil. And due to this fertility of soil, they practiced slash and burn method. What is slash and burn method? In which farmers cut and burn a patch of land to produce crop, and when the fertility of soil decreases, they leave the land and shift to another land. So this is also called as a primitive subsistence farming, slash and burn farming, and the shifting cultivation also. And obviously the output that comes from this type of farming is also very low. And this type of farming has various names in various parts of India. For instance, in North India, it is called, in the Northeast India, right, it is called as a zooming. In Bastar and Andaman and Nicobar Islands, it is called as Deepa. And in Madhya Pradesh, it is called as Daya, etc. So, in different states of India, this type of cultivation, this type of farming is named by the different names. Next is the intensive subsistence farming. So first of all, you notice over the pictures which are shown in these slides. Intensive subsistence farming is a type of farming done primarily by hand or with beast of burden on a small plot of land. So this type of farming only produces enough output to support the farmer's family, not for the commercial sale. This is the important part. Okay, this type of farming is done only for the farmer's family, not for the sale purposes. And basically such type of farming are found in those areas where population is more and the land is small. So the main crops which are found under this farming are wheat, pulses, maize, soya beans, vegetables, etc. Third type of farming is the commercial farming. Commercial farming. Now again, look at the pictures which are shown on this slide. Commercial farming is a type of farming in which crops are grown for commercial use only. For example, for selling purposes, only here the crops are grown not for the farmer's need, farmer's family need. Here the crops are grown for the sale purposes. A large capital, land, a large amount of labor is required. HYV seeds, fertilizer, insecticides and pesticides are used for high amount of cultivation. And in this type of farming, we can also see one again type of farming, that is the plantation agriculture. So what is plantation farming? Plantation is also a commercial farming where single crop is grown on a large area of land. Crops are grown for profit and large land areas are needed for this type of agriculture. The main plantation crops are like coconut, oil palm, cashew, tea, coffee, rubber, etc. And this type of farming, this plantation type of farming was introduced by the Europeans during the colonial period in India. And nowadays, some states of India are also practicing this type of farming, and these states are Assam, West Bengal, Kerala, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, and some extent in Tripura and Himachal Pradesh also. Now, the recall of the topic. So, what topics we have covered in this video are, first of all, the meaning of agriculture. Second is why India is called an agricultural country. And the third one is the different types of farmings that are practiced in India. So, best of luck, students. And the next part of this chapter, I'm going